We are back for another one of these GT missions. So this time we're taking on the Battle of Wits mission. Now, I'm going to be showing my team up on the screen right about here. So as you can see, I'm running the double LR STR Goku and Vegeta team, followed by the Trunks, LR free-to-play Vegito, the LR transforming blue, Super Saiyan blue Vegito, Piccolo, and none other than the Year 4 LR. So what's the main strategy here? You guessed it, stack, 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 and don't get hit with a super attack and type disadvantage. So the rotations you'll see throughout the video are going to be the Piccolo with one of the LR STR Vegitos, and then the Trunks with the free-to-play LR Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. Now, surprisingly, the Piccolo and the LR don't work terribly. Wait, they don't. How do I want to say this? They work surprisingly well together. Not don't. I was about to use double negative. Sorry, my English is off today. They actually work surprisingly well together. The only issue is Piccolo is going to need 4 orbs. So you pretty much have to pray for either 2 physical, or you're going to have 4 orbs in a row, or a rainbow orb. But as you'll see in the video, most of the time we were able to get it. If you can't tell, this is pre-recorded, given that I would go through so many runs and I would die. So this is why it was all pre-recorded. You would say that you would need like a rainbow friend unit. Not the case, because every time I got a rainbow friend unit, I would get supered so many times, it would just be ridiculous. So the LR Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, the free-to-play, he stacks, but only on his 12 key, which is kind of nice because you don't need that many orbs, and he was pretty much at his 12 key for most of the time. Only time it was a pain is when you only had like 6 or 7 orbs. I never thought I'd be saying this, but 6 or 7 orbs, and you would try to make sure he didn't hit his 18 key attack, which in some cases was kind of difficult, but I could play around with the rotations a little bit so he didn't get his 18 key for most of the time. The Trunks stacks once he turns Super Saiyan, so he would stack throughout the video. I made this mistake once. Do not transform after, I believe it's into his like rage mode or spirit bomb absorbed, because he loses his defense. I made that mistake one time on the last stage of this event, and he got slaughtered. He hit a lot harder, but got absolutely slaughtered. So don't make that mistake. I thought he would keep his defense. I feel like I knew that when I used this unit a lot more, but I haven't used him in so long, I forgot how his transformation mechanic works, and his defense does not stick with you. You lose all of it. So that was pretty much a run that was wasted. It frustrated me to no end, but here we are again. Make sure you stay tuned for the end of the video, because the way we win, you're not going to want to miss. Now, in this rotation, Vegito has got a couple stacks in, and the Trunks is got also a couple stacks in. Now, I wanted to put Vegito first because I was like, maybe we'll take a super attack in the second round or second row. So I was just trying to play some RNG. We have more attacks in the back end, so leaves it to super attack. Nope, you get super attack first slot. Takes 250k. So that's half the health right off the bat, and that's in the third stage. 250k. I get it's type disadvantage for us, but like, you'd think he would take a little bit more, but that's just a testament to how hard these units hit that early on. Now, Vegito is one of the LR STR is one of the MVPs because he has that damage reduction, and I did not want this to happen this early on. because we pretty much wasted a full heal that could have been used maybe when we got to Golden Ozaru or Super Saiyan 4 in the Int, or even maybe when we hit the tech at the end. But no, we had it wasted right with the AGL so early on. Me going into this fight this round, I was like, there's no way we're going to win. We already transformed. We already used our whole heal. But as you can see, we are getting kind of lucky because we're not getting super attack this round. I pretty much just want to make sure in each round that the stackers got a super attack off, they were stacking, and as much as I could avoid getting hit in a spot that was going to do maybe 300-400k damage to us when we didn't have the health to cover it, essentially. So actually transforming this early on with the year 4 int Vegito helped us out because of his counters. He was able to actually counter a lot more than I thought he was. As you'll be able to see in the later video, it doesn't really like help us once you get into the later rounds. He's not going to be doing damage unless he crits on his counters, but any little extra damage was able to help us. So in this round, the problem is I also didn't want to try to kill these units too quick because I want to get as many stacks in as possible. And I always tried to at least get whatever rotation I was in for both the units to get the stack. So like with the Tech Trunks in the free-to-play Vegito, I always wanted to make sure they were getting a stack whenever they were up. Because in turns or in rounds where I would die is because they wouldn't get a stack, and or Piccolo would be in the 7th slot and he would miss maybe 2 attacks by the time he came up on rotation, and he'd be behind the 8 ball and his defense wouldn't be able to tank anything, especially in the later stages. So keep that in mind when you're doing and running this team if you're using this Piccolo, which I highly recommend using the Piccolo because his ability to see super attacks is so helpful, and it gives you so much more peace of mind. Like when I was trying different events with different teams, when I would get frustrated with this team and go into a team that didn't have Piccolo or a unit that could foresee super attacks, you're so used to it when you use Piccolo to see the super attack, you're like, well, where's the super attack? Why can I not see it? Like, that ability, I feel like it's not underrated because people value it so much, but when you don't use it, you don't know what you're missing, if that makes any sense. When you use it, you feel like you need it, but when you don't use it, you kind of like, okay, like this is how the game works. But after using it so many times in this event, I hate going into teams, especially this event, where they actually hit super hard and not being able to know where the super attack is because you're pretty much doing every run over and over till you try to beat it. And this one actually took me a little bit longer to complete, given the fact that I was just getting awful RNG. I mean, it was just, you get super by going to Zaru in like the 7th slot, and I have a LR Super Saiyan Blue Vegito on that rotation. He doesn't dodge and gets hammered for 400k after getting other units get normaled for like 30,000-40,000. So I mean, it probably should have been a lot quicker for me to beat this event, or this mission. I was getting awful RNG. So back to our rotation. So we're building up to a Dokkan attack now, and when you're running this, if you're trying to complete this as we speak, if you're listening to this and you haven't beat already, try to save the Dokkan attack for Ozaru, or Zaruk, if I'm saying his name right, because you're going to want that extra damage, just because you're also going to want that heal because he does hit so hard. Like the difference between Super Saiyan 3 and Golden Ozaru is night and day. Like he normals you close to 100k, and if you take a bad super attack, it's pretty much game over. Like, they made that the dividing line in this event where he will kill you. Like, if you make it past him, you're like, okay, cool. Like, I actually might have a shot at beating this event, considering like you've brought any stackers, you built up enough defense. This stage right here is what divides you from a successful run, where you actually can maybe make it to the last stage and hopefully you could beat him. Or if you have difficulty in this stage and you're like stuck in this stage right here, it's gonna take you out eventually. And that's why he only attacks 5 times. But in this round, one, we're getting the Dokkan attack, but 2, he's spread out, which is the worst possible, I think, sequence in this stage is when he's spread out like that, because you can't like push him on one unit that can tank all these attacks. So at any point we could get supered and it could probably be almost game over. But if I was going to get supered, I probably would want it to be in the last slot for the damage reduction. But honestly, I didn't want to get supered at all, because who wants to get supered in this stage? So Vegeta is going to hit him, and we didn't get a crit on the Dokkan attack at all, which kind of sucked because it didn't really do as much damage as I would have liked. So with Piccolo on rotation, that means we're not getting supered at all, and I didn't want to take an attack with Piccolo because it's type disadvantage for him and his defense is not built up enough. So with damage reduction, I think he's going to hit us for maybe 30k off of normal. And again, this ability is so great because I know we weren't getting super attack, so I was like, okay, like there's no way like we'll die because we have so much health already. And I was shocked going into this fight that I actually was able to have full health, that we really didn't take that much damage in the beginning, mostly because the Super Vegito healed us before going into this fight. So like in Super Vegito, I don't think has damage debuff on normal attacks. I could be wrong, but he was taking 30k off of normal, and he has pretty high defense already. So as you can see, we had Trunks and the free-to-play Vegito at 300k and 200k respectively, which is pretty good given the fact that, I mean, how many units can actually blow through 300k defense and still hurt you? This stage. It's the only stage I know, maybe Extreme Super Battle Road, where they like you can have 300k defense and you're still not safe. Especially taking a type disadvantage attack. Like it's it's insane how strong they made this event. And as you can see, like throughout we're building it, that we were able to actually maintain the 12 key attacks and not really get his 18 key. So we never really missed the stack, which I think is super important. Also, another thing that's very important is Super Saiyan Blue Vegito's dodge. Very important. So now we're getting supered right up front. And here I'm thinking, can LR Vegito, which I think the friend is 79%, mine is 69%, tank a super attack from Golden Rosario? I was real hesitant, but we also have 480k defense, and the important thing is he's supering first before getting supered attacked. So I believe he raises his defense at least once, and we took 250k. If he was able to super at least one more time, I think we would have been in a lot better shape, because this LR STR Vegito has the ability to super attack 2 or 3 times. That time, unfortunate for us, he only super attacked once. And they are so great because if they get crits, they actually can do decent amount of damage to enemy units, because they actually hit fairly hard. So right now we're at half HP. So taking another super attack here would have probably put us down. Like, we would have lost the run. Thankfully, we were not getting super attacked in the back end, and I was able to get a super attack off with each unit. So we got Vegito doing the sword thing. He puts in a crit, tanking for double digits, which you always love to see it. And then we have Super Saiyan Trunks putting up almost a mil. Gotta love that. And no super attack, which we can breathe a sigh of relief that now we know if we're getting supered again in this rotation. And we are, but in the back. So don't want to do it with Piccolo. We don't want to float off STR Vegito off. So we're going to pray that we beat Golozaru before he supers, or we dodge. Those are the only two options. We gotta get him down, and Piccolo doesn't do jack anything for us. Not a thing. And then we have Vegito coming in. First attack, does decent damage. Can we get a crit here? No crit, but then we get the third additional, probably from the hidden potential. And it looks like he's out of there with the crit. 2 stages left. And it's the int stage, which is the worst stage for this team because we have 2 tech units and all these attacks in the middle and in the end. Now, Trunks has 400k. He probably can tank fairly well. I don't know about a super attack though. But we'll see if we find out how much he can actually tank. But all those attacks in the middle and in the end. I was actually happy it was this rotation because the Vegito and the Trunks are able to stack, and then we have the damage reduction at the end. So the LR can say LR. The LR STR Dokkan Fest Super Vegito is actually able to super and raise his defense, so he'll be able to tank a lot better in the last slot. And how much damage he does? 500k. But he's tanking double digits, which can't really ask for more. And then we're getting supered in the first slot. So Piccolo has 300k defense. Can he actually tank a super attack when he has type advantage with 300k defense? This part scared me a little bit because one, I was like, we had high health, so I was like, all right, cool, like we should be okay, but I don't know how much damage it's going to do. I mean, 300k defense is a lot, but in this event, you kind of second guess yourself, especially since type advantage, he's only doing half a mil, which is nothing. And he tanks for 30k. So if you're wondering if once you get into those later stages, can Piccolo hold up against this type? He can. As long as you've gotten stacks with him pretty much every turn, he should be okay in this event, especially in this stage. And so that takes care of the super. And let's see if we get killed in the back end from a normal. Nope. Double digits. But look at the counter. 300 damage. Nothing. So the 4th year anniversary units are good, but they don't do anything, especially with the counters in this event. Now, the scary part is, in this rotation, we have 2 tech units with the end stage, which pretty much is death, I would say. Unless we get some dodges, it's pretty much death, and I'm praying that we do not get supered in the back end. I was like, super us up front, super even Trunks. I'll take a super Trunks. Do not super the 5th year anniversary unit because we will die. He cannot tank at all, even after doing 2-3 supers. The one problem I will have with the 5th year is one, they don't tank, which everyone knows. But in this team, it's hard getting him a 12 key super because he doesn't really link up too well, even with the free-to-play unit, where he's going to get his 12 key. You really have to get maybe like 3 tech orbs to really get him the super. Like, I don't think we once got an AT key, and now we're getting supered in the back, but he dodges. We had the Whis active, which we probably could have saved in hindsight, but I didn't want to risk it. And of course, I think the game, I swear, the game knows when you activate an item, because then they're like, oh, you activated an item, we're going to let you dodge. Sucks for you. You basically wasted an item, but haha, he's going to dodge anyway. It sucks because I feel like half the time I activate an item, he literally will dodge, and we're like, okay, that was the biggest waste of time. But either way, we still have the item active for this turn, so it'll help us out with the Vegitos, just in case we need it, but the damage reduction and Piccolo on rotation. I mean, he tanked a super attack to the face, so he pretty much could survive anything that this stage throws at him. Problem with this stage, it's just getting him down health, because it takes forever. Except for that, where he actually gets a crit and does 2 million. But normal attacks, like normal supers without crits, they're just not doing that much damage. It's almost like begs the question, like, is their defense that high, or do they actually have damage reduction on? And here we are. Look at all those attacks in the back. In my head, I'm like, there's no way we're not getting supered back there. But I can't float one of these units off, and I'm checking to see does he have this damage reduction like the other Vegitos have, where they are like going to reduce the damage of normal attacks, and he doesn't. He also doesn't raise defense on super attack, or his 18 key or his 12 key. So I was like, do I want to use an item? And I'm like contemplating, do I like really need an item? Do I want to risk it? We have 470 health. Do I really want to risk it for him to super me right in the back end and possibly kill us? So keep going back and forth, check my defense again. Let's activate the Android 8 just to be, the Whis, just to be safe. Come this far, why not? I also didn't want to use 2 items in this round, but we ended up doing it because of all those attacks. But we get supered in the beginning. So at this point, I'm saying, damn it, why the hell did I use an item in the front, or in this stage? But, I mean, who would think we get supered right away and you have like 15 attacks in the back end? Like, how does that make any sense? You think that, oh, Dokkan's going to try to screw us, but again, joke's on us, we used an item, so we're just going to super you in the front where you probably can take it rather than in the back. But all these attacks, I'm like praying for a counter crit. Come on, counter crit? No. He did like 4 of them, no counter crits. He's doing 500 damage. Like, what the hell? Counter crit? We got one. 800k. Still does not get us that. I mean, he still has 2 bars. I mean, I feel like we spent half the fight just on this stage alone because he has so much damn health, and the damage to him does not do anything. And we have a Whis active already, so Vegito in the back end should be okay. Even hopefully he doesn't get supered, but he'll be able to raise his defense from him super attacking, so we should be okay if we did. But what am I saying? Because we have Piccolo on rotation, so we know it's not coming there. So Piccolo, that skill is just, I wish there was a unit pretty much on every team that could foresee super attacks, because those units would be so invaluable, but it'd probably make the game a little too easy. Unless they hit as hard as this, it doesn't really matter. But it'd probably make the game a little bit too easy if you could foresee super attacks like that on every rotation. Because going into this rotation and on the last stage, one, we're almost at a Dokkan attack. But two, you're blind. Like, I don't know if STR Vegito could take a super attack and be okay. We're at 500k health, but I don't know exactly how hard he can hit even with the damage reduction. Like, is he going to drop us down to 100k? Or like, are we going to take it in the beginning and then just get demolished? So, we're going in with Trunks with the Dokkan attack, praying for a crit, because honestly, that's the only way we're able to do damage on him, because normal attacks are just not going to cut it. Praying for a Dokkan attack crit, and we're waiting. Sorry, you gotta get tired of seeing these super attack animations. But do we get it? No. He does 2 mil damage. He gets an additional normal attack, but 2 mil. If we would have got a crit, he probably would have did maybe 3 to 4, which would have took his health down a lot, but we took him down 1 bar, which, okay, great. And we're getting supered. No item active. After he's built up all that defense, and we take 300k. All those stacks, and we're still taking 300k from a super attack. That's insane. I think if STR Vegito would have got supered in the back with his damage reduction, I think he probably would have killed us or took 400. But the Dokkan attack did heal us up, back up to 400k HP. And we're getting supered in the middle slot. Piccolo has 380k defense. Can he take the super attack? That is the biggest question. And I'm thinking is, do I want to activate an item? And how can we get him to super, to drop the orbs down, and to have the LR in the back also super? So we're able, the orbs dropped in the perfect sequence, so we're able to get an 18 key in the back end and super with everyone. And that damage reduction is really doing work, because all those attacks with his strength would have took a normal unit, just blew him out of the water. So it just surprises me the strength of this actually Vegito. Also, he was able to super first, which goes a long way in boosting up his defense, so he can tank all these attacks essentially to double digits. Piccolo, don't fail me now. 200k, which is nothing. Like, how, like, these units don't do any damage to him. And again, after building up all that defense, he didn't take as much as the other unit, but 200k damage. And this, for the first time probably in the fight, or close to it, we only have a quarter of health left. Trunks looking very good at 500k, but the LR free to play is not looking so hot. We're able to still get a 12 key off. We don't know where the super attack's coming. We have the Super Saiyan Blue on rotation. It just was not looking good, so we activated the Android 8. Boost us back up, give us that defensive buff, so we should be okay on all fronts. We're able to get a decent amount of tech orbs to give Super Saiyan Blue his super attack, so he can raise his defense. So if we do get supered in the back end, we probably would still take a ton of damage, but he probably would kill us without that Android 8. We get the crit, which actually does a good amount of damage off his health. Praying for another crit. We need to keep whittling him down because we're running out of items, and we can't keep hanging into this fight long enough for the full power Super Saiyan 4 to keep supering us. So we gotta start making some headway, and we're able to. We got him down 4 bars. Hopefully we can get some crits with Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. He can do some pretty decent damage if he gets a crit. Bleed Mine is 79%. I pulled him one more time off the, is it Piccolo banner I think he was on? Or Piccolo, Pycon banner he was on. So he's pretty much a decent amount of damage, or attack, I should say. And we're getting super attacked up front. So I want to stick the Piccolo up front. But I'm not going to be able to get a super with him. It's the way the orbs fell. So we do have the Android 8 active. I believe so. He should be okay taking that super attack. Honestly, Vegito probably would have been okay taking the super attack with his damage reduction, but also really didn't want to risk it. So I stuck Piccolo up there. I was like 600k defense. He should be okay taking this. And 25k. So I would take that all day long. 25k off a super attack from the last stage. Like, there's no better feeling than seeing that and knowing you're not getting supered anymore this turn. Especially all those attacks in the middle. You don't have to worry at the back end. Just keep chipping away the health down. Chip away, chip away, chip away. Okay. Now, all the attacks are spread out. 600k from Trunks. A little above 350 from the free-to-play unit. We take a super attack, we want to take it up front. Let the Trunks eat it. Pretty much we probably could take a super attack from any unit right here. And we take it up front. Thinking there's no way that 600k is going to really get us killed. And he does 10k damage. I mean, he does have a lot of defense, but 10k, this gave me confidence going into this next round. I was like, he can be beaten. We can beat this stage. Trunks is a brick wall at this point. We know we're not getting supered in the back anymore. The LR comes in with a crit. And he's at half health. I maybe gotta stick in. Hopefully about 2 more turns, I can knock him down enough health. But LR Vegito has his active skill. Do I want to use it? He has too much health, so I think I'm gonna wait. I think I'm gonna wait to use it. Because if I use it now, it might knock him down enough health so I can finish him off, but it just, something about it just told me just to hold off. I activate the Android 8 because one, Vegito, LR, STR Vegito is going to get supered in the front, so I want to make sure he had enough health, but I also didn't want the LR in the back end to take too much damage to knock us down. Because if we took a super attack where we didn't really want it next turn, then that could be real bad. Especially, I didn't know how much the LR would actually take from normal attacks. So we activated our last item. So from here on out, it's just us with 400k HP. And the super attack did hurt us a little bit. More so than I thought it was going to. It just shows how strong this unit is. So we get 1 super attack with Vegito. Get the additional. Hopefully get a crit just to pull him down some more HP. No crits, but he's only taking double digits, so good with that. So we have enough defense on this rotation where we should be okay. He You could super attack or super attack. You could super attack in the first 2 slots would be all right. Just don't want to take a super in the back end. Even with damage reduction and he raises defense, it still would be real bad. I mean, he would put us maybe down to, I want to say 50k or even 100k, and he dodges. He hadn't really dodged. That's what I was actually shocked about. He hadn't really dodged any super attacks from us in the in stage and this stage at all, really, which I think helped us whittle him down so much. But like, when I first saw that dodge, I was like, oh crap, he's gonna start dodging all these attacks now and just make it painful for us to finish him off. So we get the crit here. No, only super attacked once. Of all the times we want Vegito to super attack multiple times, it's this stage. And he only gets it once. So no super attacks coming in the middle slot. We're just trying to get him down enough, and Piccolo should have enough defense to tank this. And we're about almost 500k health. And in my head, I'm telling myself, I'm like, there's no way taking a super attack with no items is he gonna put us down 500k health. Like, there's just no way. And then I start seeing him do normal attacks for 20k. I'm like, oh crap, he's gonna drop us to about 300,000 health. So we're able to super attack, which raises our defense. Get another super attack, which, and God, he did, because honestly, you don't want to see him start putting up 20k off normals when you're about to take a super attack in the middle slot. We get 3 super attacks, puts him down to about 1.5 bars. Piccolo comes in, gets a crit. He doesn't get a crit, and the super attack happens. What are we at after we get supered? 400k health. He does 150k. We're at half health now. And with that super attack, we're at half health. And like, if we take another super attack, we're pretty much done.
その目に焼き付けておくんだな。これがベビットの真の力だ。ファイナルカメハメハ！
And he gets the crit to finish him off with the KO screen. We complete the mission. The LR 5th year anniversary comes in clutch. That's the video. If you guys like it, hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel. We're going to be going through more missions, more of these playthroughs, and I'll see you guys next time.